The record companies are the pimps, and the entertainers are the hoes. You know what I mean? So why not just go ahead and pimp yourself?
In total, you guys sold like more than 12 million records, right? That comes down to a lot of money. And I can imagine if you're an artist, you go like, well, 12 million records, well, that's like maybe 50, 60 million dollars. Why don't I get that all?
Well, because you know, when you sign with big record companies, you sign deals that, well, they give you money up front, they give you advances, and most of the time these bands are broke. You know, when the record label signs them, they're broke. So I don't think there's gonna be a band out that's gonna say, no, I don't want your advance. They're gonna say, yeah, okay, cool, we got money now, we got a budget now, and the contracts are set up to where it's like 85-15 split. You know, the record company gets 85% of every record, you get 15% of every record, okay? And that's where the record company makes their money and become huge, you know, big-time corporations, and you become a big-time band, but there's no way that you're gonna be worth as much as that record company. So once you get to the point, like let's say where I'm at in my career, where I've sold over 12 million records with my band Cypress, and people know me, people know the name, they know what I look like, why not just start your own record company, you know what I mean, and do it for yourself? And it's not as hard as somebody might think it is.
It's not?
No, it's not. First of all, you got to have a good management and a good lawyer, and then you got to have a good band, good talent around you. You know what I mean?
But you can't get all that if you good money and if you're famous.
Yeah, you could get all that. You know what I mean? You can get all that shit, if, you know, once you get some money behind it and everything. But, you know, I'm not really. When I was with Sony Music, I was happy to be part of Sony and everything. But I knew that they only wanted me for Cypress Hill. They didn't think that I had the talent or whatever in me to do anything else. You know what I mean? So I went about, you know, rectifying that situation. You know, I didn't want to be just B-Real's backup. You know what I mean? I want to be my own person. I want to have my own career as well as the career that I built with Cypress. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm just being honest to myself and just thinking like how many bands actually last 20 years. You know what I mean? You know, it's rare. You know, the Beastie Boys are on 15. You know, the Beastie Boys are the only group from that era, other than LL Cool J, that are still dropping records. You know what I mean? So it's rare to have a hip hop band last that long. You know what I mean? So that just made me all the more wiser to get to know the business inside and out, and put myself out.
Do you have to watch your back constantly, like you guys say?
Well, when we say that in that song, we mean it as in terms of, you know, when you're dealing with big time businesses like, you know, record companies and stuff like that, and other artists as well. You do have to watch your back, because there's people that'll come in and act like they're your friends or whatever, but really they just want to get a piece of what you got, maybe launch off of them or whatever. So you definitely got to watch your back, because it's a business of where, you know, you won't know where all your money's at. You don't know if a publishing company's holding your money or the record company's holding your money. You know, you never know if they give you all the money that you deserve or that's right yours by the contracts or whatever. So by taking a hands-on approach to the thing, you know what I mean, I've been able to learn a lot about the business and basically, you know, do what they were doing for us, I could do for myself, you know. And as soon as, you know, Latin Thug becomes a big label, when we grow up, you know, we sell some records, I'm gonna be looking to, you know, sign other people myself. You know what I mean? Like,
what sort of artists do you want to sign?
I'm
basically hip hop, right?
Well, not, my strength isn't really in producing hip hop. I'm better producing rock and roll tunes than I am at hip hop tunes. You know what I mean? And basically, it's because I don't play no keyboards or samplers or anything like that. I just play guitar a little bit. You know what I mean? So if I hear a band that already got their own music and their own vocals and everything, and all they need is a little bit of direction and guidance, that's easier for me. You know, I'm better at that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna probably, you know, be looking to sign, you know, rap and rock bands, or just straight out rock bands, or, you know, girl singers or something like that. But it's definitely gonna be something with rock, you know, rock edge.
You have to like it, of course.
Oh, definitely. If I don't like it, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not good or something. Somebody else might like it, but I gotta like it first and foremost, or else I ain't gonna fuck with it.
Hey, why are you actually into music? I mean,
why?
Yeah.
Because it runs in my family, man. Back to my great grandfather in Cuba, everybody's been a musician. Everybody, all of my cousins in Cuba, they're all musicians. Me and my brother are vocalists. My mom was a singer. You know, she never turned professional because she wanted to have a family, but she was always singing in the churches and people's weddings and everything. Everybody always called her. And my father's a horn player, plays trumpet, flute, saxophone, trombone, a little bass guitar, some drums. My grandfather had his own band in Cuba, you know, back in the days, and it's just something that runs in our family. We were playing sports, football and baseball, and you know, after a while, we just started getting high and drinking beer, and you don't want to practice no more. So, you know, after a while, we just started rapping because it was like the natural thing for us to do, and that's why we ended up doing it.
So somebody said like rap can save your life if you live in LA, if you live in the poor in the bad neighborhoods. So that goes for you too.
Definitely, man. Rap it could save your life because prior to there being a big rap movement on the streets in LA or the United States or whatever, people were selling drugs. You know, people were you know, stealing cars or whatever the fuck it was, you know, to make big money or even just to not live poor. But now it's like they're looking at these young black American kids or whatever, young Latino kids or whatever, those 17, 18-year-olds, now they're the ones that they're being looked at for the innovative new rap styles. You know what I mean? So if you get your shit together and start rapping and writing, you know, there's a good chance you might, you know, be able to get a record deal, blow up and sell some records like Tupac and Biggie Smalls and all those people. Those guys, you know, they came from nowhere. They came from nothing, man, to become millionaires. You know what I mean?
So what do you have to bring along to make it?
It's a lot of heart, man. Just a lot of heart and a lot of commitment, and just realize that there's nothing easy about this game. There's nothing easy about it. You know what I mean? You got to leave your family for periods of time, you know, for a bunch of times. You know, it's your mother, your daughters and sons, you know, your lady, everything. You got to leave that behind you. Go to, you know, strange countries you never been to, and try not to get culture shocked out, you know.
You ever been that?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. When I first started, I could.
First came to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I think so. My first. Yeah, back in those days, yeah, I was definitely. I you know, you gotta go prepared too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you're gonna find out about yourself when you first go to other countries. You know what I mean? And if I could go to a country where, like England, where they speak English, or let's say Mexico, where they talk Spanish, which is what I am, Spanish, and I'm raised in America, I'm very comfortable. I got no problem there. But like when you have to go to other places, like when I first came to Holland or in the Netherlands or whatever, that was very, very bugged out. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and the language was weird, the food was weird, you know, even the chicks were weird. You know what I mean? But, you know, after a while of coming over, you know, you just get used to it and used to it. And if you have a strong family support unit, you know what I mean, that's good for you too, because you could always, you know, call somebody back home, and they could, just to reinforce the importance of you having this kind of job is just good for everybody in the family. You know what I mean? Just one, like we have let's say, you know, 25 people in our family with sisters, kids and everything. And just me and my brother being musicians, we've been able to do incredible things for our family in the past and now and here in the present. You know what I mean? So you just got to remember that it's not an easy job to have, and you got to really work hard, especially if you want to be known. You want to do tours in Europe and shit like that. You really got to work hard. This is not no, you know, piece of cake. You know what I mean? We're here in our 10th year, and we're still, you know, still doing interviews, you know, and still doing the promo tours.
You still like it?
That
says it all, man.
That's a good question. You know what I mean? I like performing. I really do. I have a good time performing. To me, like being on stage and getting down, man, to me sometimes it's better than, you know, than sex. You know, better than being with a girl. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. Come on.
No, really, man. The energy that you get. I mean, there's nothing like pussy. Let's get that shit out the way.
You should do it on stage, man.
I don't know. I might get arrested. But I mean, but when you're up there, man, you really get the satisfying, you know, really feel about, wow, this is something really special I'm doing. You know what I mean? Other than that, you know what I mean? I like recording and everything. It's just everything else in between, the dealing with the merchandising companies and publishing companies and all that. And and the 12-hour plane rides and 15-hour plane rides and all that shit, that kind of gets kind of burnt out. You know what I mean? But you have to realize that. That people around the world want to see you. You know what I mean? People around the world have bought your record, and just that is reason enough for you to come out there and entertain them. You know what I mean? So I mean, now it's got to the point where we've been to Japan, Australia, we've been over here to Europe, 20 times already. You know what I mean? So it gets a little bit easier. Things don't look as strange to me as they used to now. You know what I mean? So it's not a bug out no longer. It's just staying concentrated, stay focused on what you got to do.
Be a professional.
Yeah, be professional. You know what I mean? And if you get those, those anxiety attacks or whatever, just try to cool out. I like to pray a lot. You know what I mean? I pray. I call my mom and I pray. Or my.
Are you a religious person?
Yeah, I was born. I was raised, in church. My parents took me to church, and I know the rights and the wrongs, and you know what I mean, and all that good stuff. So I still get together with my mom, and then we pray over the phone, or when they come to my house or whatever. It's all good.
Wouldn't you love to play Cuba once?
Oh, definitely. I was talking to my cousins there last week, and it was weird because when I left there in '71, I lost all communication with my family, my cousins and everything. And I recently started talking to them again. I got an uncle that's in Spain right now playing with his band, touring over there. And they've been telling us that they've heard some Cypress Hill stuff out there. And
how did the Spanish stuff go down, actually?
Oh, good. We went gold, did a gold album, and it won a Billboard Award for Best Spanish Hip Hop Album of the Year last year. So it done pretty good. The only thing we didn't get to do is tour behind it that much. We didn't get to do that at all. But hopefully, next year, next year, we'll get to do some shows over there and do well. But it done well. And then we're gonna do another Spanish album, like hopefully the end of this year or something. Get a chance to go in there and record again.
Hey, one thing that strikes me about you guys is everybody expects you to be bugged or stoned out all the time, but you're not.
Nah, I don't smoke weed like I used to either, man. I used to smoke a lot of weed, a lot of skunk, and it would just leave me like I didn't want to do shit, just sit there and just enjoy my high. So when I started writing my own songs for my own group or whatever, I started noticing that, I didn't need weed to write like I used to think so. And ever since then, I'll smoke a joint or two a day, but that's it. You know what I mean? No more bongs. I can't handle that shit. That shit fucks my throat up and it gets me way too high. So I just kick it, man. You know what I mean? I'll drink beer too, but not till it turns night. And just try to stay focused as much as you can. Like I'll come to Europe on a tour, and I really won't smoke any weed until like the last day. You know what I mean? Because by the last day, okay, that's cool. I done all my work. I done all my interviews. I stood focused. Now reward yourself, smoke a joint before you get on the airplane and go home.
You guys still active in pro legalization?
Yeah, we are. Not as much as we used to. There's so many bands nowadays that talk about smoking weed and all that stuff, which is cool and everything. We open the doors for all that. That's fine. We're gonna touch the subject more. We will some way or another, but right now we're just concentrating on new musical styles. You know what I mean? And we want to do a live album that's gonna come out in October or November. I'm not sure, but we're gonna get ready to do some shows with Limp Bizkit in the United States, and we're gonna record all those shows and take the best songs and do a live record. Cool, and put that out.
One more thing before you leave. How can I see this live? How do you guys do this? You mix songs, or do you get to see one part hip hop and one part rock?
No, we mix it. We usually start off with a hip hop set and then bring the guitar players on, do some rock stuff, and then go back to the hip hop set. You know what I mean? Mix it up some. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Thanks a lot. We're looking forward to see you introduce your label in Europe and your new music and all your new albums.
Right on, man. Thank you very much.